one maybe. But let's talk about this later, right? I'm actually confused. I don't see any Oranguru here. But another trainer who has made day 2 at LAIC, if you did not know what we were hinting at there. Stone Collection.
Another famous trainer of ours, one of the veterans in the Play Pokemon Championship.
Yep, Stone Collection has had a good run. They're playing another rematch of the regional.
Wait, what's this? Is this a Belly Bolt?
Yep, that's a Belly Bolt with Sucker Punch, Zapcan, and Parabolic Charge. Phenomenal Core Breaker, Shadow Jump Love, as well with those double hard-hitting charge attacks. And a Shadow Primeape as well.
And they got Freaka over here with a Malamar. We haven't seen one of those yet. A Stunfisk, a Spidops, one of the newer Pokemon as well. We have Charizard, Shadow Charizard, Credilli, and Azumarill. Spidops, what do we think of this Pokemon?
This Pokemon is really flexible. It has some harder matchups. Something like a Ferret is really tough to deal with, just because you don't have any fast attack pressure. But other than that, this Pokemon can really help you. If your opponent doesn't have a hard answer, it can be so annoying to deal with, because both of these charge attacks, which is decent coverage as well, they're both gonna debuff you. So if you do switch against this Pokemon, it's gonna be tough to come back.
It's very bulky, and having debuff moves makes it even more bulky. If it has a neutral matchup, you know Spidops is gonna pop off.
Alright, Stone Collection versus Freaka. Those trainers know each other well, and that's a huge lead for Freaka. Super effective. Sideways versus Shadow Primeape. Safe swap into the Unobin Stunfisk, answered by Cradley.
This is a dominant matchup. First the Malamar and the Primeape, and now the Credilli and the Stunfisk. This is really great for the Credilli here. But the Credilli actually having assets which is resisted on the Stunfisk. A grass that it can survive, so it's not the worst, I would say, but still, this is very dominant for Credilli here.
If Freaka wants to keep the alignment, which he can very well choose to do in this matchup, Stunfisk actually puts this Cradley a little bit lower than it wants to be, and that could be a potential option for a farm down, just because the pacing of Unobin Stunfisk is so quick. Could bring in the Primeape later on, and Primeape with energy can overcome the worst matchups.
Yeah, Mob Bomb being neutrally on a Credilli because of its typing Rock, Grass, makes ground type attacks neutral on the Credilli. Grass Knot goes well by the Credilli here. Not giving shield by the Stunfisk, and let's say go, and the Stunfisk is out.
Oh, immediate swap into the Malamar here. Stone Collection is opting to throw a Rage Fist before swapping out, but look at the damage! It's already in the yellow. Malamar looking strong.
Those Scythes are really add up on the spray. The Prime is not going to hang on for too long anymore. The Rage Fist get no shield here by the Malamar, and the Ferret comes in against the Malamar here. Malamar has coverage move, has superpower. It goes for the foul play. Maybe like a great bait here for the Ferret, for the Malamar here on the Ferret.
Oh, can Stone Collection ever afford to no-shield here? He needs HP anyways. The big question is, can he farm this down with the Ferret in the back? There is only a Shadow Charizard that does not have too much HP here. Another foul play is being thrown. He calls it! Does not get hit by the superpower here. Knows exactly what's going on in Freaka's head. Now he's going for a Trailblaze here. Knows he can't farm it down fully, so he wants to ramp up the attack.
What a call here that he made. And he shields up the Trailblaze. Very interesting. And then he comes for the Malamar. And Malamar gets on another move. So, I mean, Stone Collection has to shield this.
Unless he wants to bring in the Primeape and use the shield there, but he has so much energy, he's already attack boosted. Brings in the Shadow Charizard here, and Ember Swift boosted versus Shadow Charizard. This should deal a lot of damage, but there is still a Protect Shield left on the side of Freaka.
Charizard has to shield pretty much everything since it's so frail, but getting to the Air Cutter in only 4 Embers is amazing pacing here. Probably to the local farm how they throw, because Air Cutter, and it throws Air Cutter, and the Fury gets knocked out here, and there's still a Primeape left with no energy.
Yep, and that should look good for the Shadow Charizard of Freaka. He has also been an OG. Both of those trainers are very well known in the series, and Freaka gets the win in Game 1, lands the Air Cutter, and maybe Stone Collection is asking himself why he did not safe swap Gyarados.
He was really strong into Primeape, I must say. The Malamar lead, the Charizard in the back. I mean, Primeape didn't have much chance there to fight back.
Yeah. That's true. It was heavily targeted by the composition of Freaka. Of course, in the sandwich with Cradley. Cradley, of course, being a prime target for Primeape, but that wasn't the matchup we were seeing here. So now those players will have to find out a different way on how to play this matchup. And honestly, let's address the Belly Bolt in the room.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to bring it. I kind of want to see it, though. But as you see at Freaka's Malamar, it's pretty much unchecked. Yeah. The only thing I could say maybe is the Jump Love. The Fairy Winds are super effective. Yes. It has the bulk to sustain it. But the Malamar is kind of a free pick for Freaka here.
Shadow Jump Love's matchup versus the Malamar got worse with the change of aerial ace, because you're now not outpacing anymore and you're losing charge attack priority regardless. If you're not even playing this charge attack, then Malamar actually has a lot of wiggle room.
What do you think of Spite-Ups? I think there's no reason for him to bring the Spite-Ups in this matchup.
Yeah.
Spite-Ups don't have much play here with the Jump Love and the Talonflame's kind of risky to bring that Spite-Ups.
Also, Ferret is really, really tough to deal with. Yeah. You're fine versus most of the other picks. I think versus the... it might actually be tough to play versus a Primeape as well, because you're just getting outpaced so hard. But I think those matchups should still be fine, but you won't want to risk it. Now, Stone Collection. Both of these trainers, they have massive experience already in those tournaments. On those big stages, Stone Collection has been top cutting constantly. He's #1 on the European leaderboard right now, has gotten the LAIC Travel Award, wants to go for the EOIC Travel Award, or has this one also set up.
And the players are locking in right now, setting up the teams. And we see a Belly Bolt into Credilli. That is not what the Belly Bolt wants to see.
No, but he is going to outpace to this parabolic charge, wins charge attack priority, and at least boosts up the defense. But if you're boosting your defense and your opponent is lowering your attack, how useful is your Pokemon then?
Yeah, I mean, Belly Bolt gets even more bulkier right now. Here comes the first move of the Credilli here. Goes for the Rock Tomb, debuffs the Belly Bolt later on. But the Belly Bolt is rather thick now with the Belly Bolt. Look at that damage, does nothing.
Yeah, but can you go for a Zap Cannon though? That is the big question. I think maybe Stone Collection wants to either preserve some energy later on in this game, or he wants to get this Credilli into a farm down range. The big question is, after 2 debuffs, can you farm all the way down with a Credilli?
As you can see, there is also another Electric type in the back here, and that is a Stunfisk. So I think Stone Collection is really happy to see the Credilli here on his Belly Bolt, knowing that Sucker Punches are neutral. He can buff itself up, and there's a Stunfisk free for later on.
Stunfisk definitely looking good. There's swaps in the Malamar to get the farm down here. Stone Collection not reacting. Stone Collection brings in the Stunfisk there, which could be so good against the Charizard in the back.
Yeah, Malamar getting a lot of energy there is really great for the Malamar, knowing that Malamar has so much play into Stone Collection's team right here. Stunfisk goes for the Mud Bomb here, does like a decent amount of damage. I think 2 comes close to knocking out with some Thunder Shocks.
They know each other so well. They're both on the same grassroots team now, competing here on the big stage. And the Malamar is looking mighty strong, as you said. If one of those fantastic trainers has a team comp advantage with one Pokemon that is so hard to beat and so free against the other team, it is huge. Freaka is in a prime spot right now.
But we see the Ferret doing amazing things today, and the Ferret with 2 shields, with the Sucker Punch. There's a Charizard back over Freaka. The Sucker Punches, they do heavy damage. And here comes the Charizard into the Ferret, and we can see for ourselves right here. The Charizard has the pacing advantage with the Air Cutter, and I don't know if Stone Collection has to kind of respect this, but will he respect this Air Cutter or not? He's gonna call the bait. He calls the bait, Leon. He calls the bait right here.
That is huge. You're not taking a lot of damage there. Is there going to be a attack buff? No, there isn't. You're going to go for a Trailblaze here. Freaka kind of has to shield this. This would not do a lot of damage, but your Sucker Punches will hurt more now. Mortis, look at this. It's chipping away the Charizard. Charizard will get to 2 Air Cutters, no problem, but you can just use more shields.
Air Cutter also has a chance to increase your attack from the Charizard, and Charizard being such a heavy attack-weighted Pokemon, having more attack would be amazing. And Air Cutter goes again. There's a second Air Cutter gets shown. The Ferret ups the shield. He's gonna just farm down this Charizard right now.
How much energy is on the Pokemon on Freaka's bench right now? This is going to knock out. Brings in the Credilli. Credilli is very close to a charge attack. Reaches for it and knocks out the Ferret here that has so much energy. Is there anything left in the tank for Stone Collection?
All that energy gone on the Ferret. There's only one thing left, and that is the Stunfisk. But can he farm it down? He farmed it down.
That is a huge farm down, actually. Another shield left for Freaka. So this is looking good for him, unless he gets outpaced. But Psywave deals so much damage, knocks it out. And Psywave, the freest Pokemon for Freaka, gets him the 2-0 over Stone Collection. His friend, his rival, one of the titans of the game.
That was a great showcasing how to play Malamar, getting a little bit of energy, just a little bit of energy advantage, and the energy literally went everywhere, and Malamar was just popping off right there.